Molly McCann and Luana Carolina. Now, here are my issues with this fight. As much as I want to see Molly McCann just go in there and box the hell out of Luana Carolina, nothing personal. Just for her to get a big win at her hometown, it's so obvious how hard she works, and she's pulled up some big fights and just some good wins as well at the UFC level. And I think she deserves one of those fights that you just absolutely off your seat cheering for her, being like, "Way to go, Molly!" That's what I see from her, but. Luana Carolina, what can we say about her? I mean, great length, good, Nova Nyao style fighting, right? Defensive wrestling, big strikes landing. You look at the Priscilla Cachoeira fight. Cachoeira is a fighter that just keeps coming. Not as technical as Molly, but just keeps coming. Multiple times, Luana was able to land some big kicks, was able to use her combos, great jab, great 1-2s. And to me, it's even in those areas where she's going to start using that Muay Thai. I think that Molly needs to be very careful with where that range ends. This is what's so beautiful about MMA is when you're analyzing boxing, the range conversation really just comes from the idea of how far do I need to stand to avoid getting hit and be able to land some big punches, right? But in MMA, it's like you have the range that goes from the kicking, then you get into the middle where it's that boxing range. And in this fight specifically, it's like Molly needs to play in that area where she can't be in this spot where the kicks can land. She can't be in this spot where she can get kind of pulled in and just start getting these really big knees to the body and elbows, which Luana is going to look for. She just has to stay in that one boxing range to really effectively land the combos and the big shots that she's always looking for. And I think a big area that she can definitely surprise in is getting some takedowns. Land those takedowns, get those points, work in some ground and pound. You rely heavily on the power in your fists. And I think any of those areas that you can negate the distance and negate her ability to even land those big knees and elbows with the length, the bony, it comes right in there. I mean, those are the areas that I just really want to see Molly avoid. Whereas with Luana Carolina, it's, don't get taken down. We've seen her pull off some pretty big wins. I think Lupita was one. I'd have to double check that. I don't have that one written down. But, 7-inch reach advantage against a fighter who loves to fight at boxing range. I mean, when you watch this fight in your head, you can't possibly tell me that you don't see Molly just getting pieced up with little combos, some good kicks. She's going to have to keep pushing forward to fight through a lot of strikes. And it's just she's not that good of a grappler for me to then say, okay, once she gets into that range, what more can she do? That's what I mean about this fight is Molly would have to stay in that boxing range to do her best work, but 7-inch reach advantage against the fighter who's got great kicks, great combos, and pretty good Muay Thai and, defensive wrestling to boot. So that Nova Nyao style, I think, is going to be very tough for Molly to overcome with a 7-inch reach disadvantage and how tactile Carolina is. So I want to go Carolina minus 160, and I do think there's an opportunity for her to win a decision. I think that Molly's going to be going balls to the wall, all heart, no matter what, looking for that win. So let's take a look here. Luana Carolina minus 125, and now moved up to. She's a dog. Molly McCann coming in as a plus 100 underdog, now as high as a minus 140 favorite. So we had the lines flipped. Looks like Luana Carolina is a plus one. You can get her as high as plus 120. And I got to be honest, just even based on my description, it's just the path to victory, right? Boxing range. She would have to surprise me with something else to really pull this off. And I think if Luana can avoid being on her back with Molly on top, just trying to fill her with punches, it just seems like it's a pretty good fight for her to win. So keep it locked to SookyMMA. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.